Now, I see you said it isn't advised that we scroll through the document at the meeting?
Right, so just to kind of recap the most recent email I sent, I was offering to kind of go through the changes that I've highlighted and based on the comments made at our last meeting. And then for the report out on Thursday, I've listed the dates that we've met so far, just in case that's helpful. And we've gotten feedback from the public that it isn't very accessible for us to scroll through documents during the meeting if possible, because if possible to avoid that because they aren't able to see it from far away. It's more conducive to Zoom. What I can't, we can either decide to just speak about it and have folks refer to the report in the agenda packet, or if you'd like, I can create a PowerPoint just highlighting the changes we made based on the comments. You may decide that's not necessary, but I'm happy to, whatever you all want.
Actually, I think that that's a good idea. I do not think we should be going, through line by line, but in trying to highlight how we chose to address those comments, if you could do the PowerPoint and then just yellow or whatever the changed narrative is, because I do not want to get into semantics. We know that annual reports should not be marketing or public relations tools. And I resisted that from Commissioner Harbin Forte. And I think that we have some language around that, right, Marcia?
Yeah, I did some research on that, and it really isn't a marketing tool. And I think our alternative is to create a nice trifold that says what the police commission does. Push that out to the community, perhaps through our community involvement ad hoc. But it's not that rah-rah piece, although in comparing one year, maybe in some instances to another, you do see some growth or you do see some advancement, but
one would expect that to be part of the process of evolving a brand new thing, right?
It absolutely.
So I wouldn't want to get into, oh, we did so much more than the last year or
right,
year,
right. That's the inappropriateness of what I hope I didn't misinterpret, but seems to have been the thrust of some of the comments.
Yes, and I believe that what we're supposed to be doing is literally reporting out what was done, not taking the personal dialogue or narrative that we need to promote one thing over another thing. I don't have a problem with some of the comments that were offered. I think, so why don't we just go ahead on through. Marcia, if you think that, if you agree with me that it would be helpful to have Kelly put together a PowerPoint so that we can highlight the areas that have been addressed, then I think that would be good.
Sure, that sounds like the reasonable way to do this.
Sure.
And hopefully as we go through it, you'll see that I tried to create a happy balance between those two, understanding that you didn't really want to take it in the marketing route, but while still being able to share what we did. So if, you'll see, but the first change was just to remove 2021 to 2022 and just say 2022 annual report, pretty straightforward. The table of contents slightly changed just in that as content changed, the numbering changed. And so the page and all the highlights you see will be removed for the final. I just wanted you to note it as we go through. So executive summary, nothing changed. It's exactly as we finalized before. Legislative history, nothing's changed. I did add a quote that I found from an article around this time. Let me know how you feel about that.
Honestly, I would prefer to take the mayor's comments out and just report that it was a major milestone. But because we have another mayor in now, and given the way that the council and the politics are today, yeah, would you agree, Marcia?
If we could just keep it to the bare bones kind of facts
Yeah.
without adding other narrative, I think we will be more successful in presenting this to the public. Some of our public members are very vociferous about Libby. And
Mhm.
like Commissioner Regina said, we have a new mayor. We have to present this to the city council. We don't want to, run into, and I'm sure she's mentioned somewhere in here as a fact somewhere, maybe.
Okay, so I removed it. And
Thank you.
then, of course, and then you all noted last time or someone noted if there was an easier way to identify the leadership that would be preferred, because it's all together. So I just added yellow text to the chair and vice chair. And then nothing's changed in terms of the other. Okay. Oh, sorry, scrolling.
And do we indicate that those dates underneath the names are their
Can you go back up?
termination
Um,
dates or expiration dates or something? Can you go
Right.
back up?
Yes, but you could, if you'd like, you can also refer to this chart here, which will include your all's names as well.
Can
with the-
you go
Okay.
back though, Kelly, so that what Marcia thinks she's seen can be confirmed?
Yes.
Okay, so is there any way to put an asterisk that lets people know this is when the term expires rather than, I
Mhm.
guess they would know it's a future date, so.
Yeah, I think it's
It's
communicated.
okay, let's,
Can we see everybody else and make sure that those dates also correlate?
yeah,
Let me see if I can sneak
Okay,
in.
so for me, I am off on October 2024.
Oh, 2024. Let me also check then. Let me check down here to make sure I got that.
Yeah.
Okay, it was because I see. Great.
Okay, so that's correct on the chart.
And then here we go. The text for the commission changes didn't change at all, but this chart was added to show all of the past or all of the commissioners to date.
I was,
Uh-oh.
when you say both, what do you mean by both?
Where do you see the reference to both?
Regular or alternate, and you said both.
You know what? I'm going to change that. Apologies. I think it's when someone had a transition from one to the other. If they started as one and but that is I actually also think, well, no, this information is pretty pertinent, but it's it's referring to people who were once, kind of like in your and hi there again.
Regular or alternate? Yeah, I was an alternate, then I was a regular. Okay. So you want to indicate that in that year, we transitioned from being an alternate to a regular.
I think it's more just like you're muted, Commissioner Jackson, but Commissioner Peterson was asking about this column, regular or alternate, and what both refers to. And I was letting her know it's for people who at one time or another were an alternate and then regular, both. And it doesn't refer to this year being when that transition happened. It's just referring to the fact that in the history of the commission, they at some point were one or the other. If you didn't feel that column was particularly helpful, I can also remove it.
No, I'm just because I assume in 2022, I was still an alternate and then I transitioned. And that Jesse, did he transition in 2022 or was it 2023?
I think it was 2022 as well.
Okay, all right.
But I think what throws me off here is that we have it alphabetical by last name, and it makes you have to look back and forth. But James Jackson, I see that you have the indice there. I'd like to see it colored in some way, red, green, something, because otherwise when you first take a look at it, it looks like it could be a typo. Then if you continue looking down, then you can see that he resigned before attending his first meeting.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay.
Does that red font help?
Yes, I think it does. Marcia, is that cool for you?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm just looking at everything.
Ooh, I'm gonna change this line to be like the others.
Okay, yeah, it looks like all of that is accurate now. Thank you for that.
No changes to staffing updates or the commission structure. For committee work, I changed it to December 31st, 2022. I added a C for who the committee chair is. And
is there space in these boxes to give the acronym that people are so used to hearing? So for if you can go back up.
Sorry, further up? Or
the police commission structure.
Oh, okay.
What I'm thinking is that when we look at Office of the Inspector General, if we could put OIG in paren, the Community Police Review Agency, CIPRA in paren, Oakland Police Department, OPD in paren. I think that, I don't know, it just seems like that is a reference tool that people are more familiar with. And I just don't want to lose those, reference points.
Totally. I just wanted to make sure I started out naming those acronyms in the executive summary, which we did. So that's good. I'll add it to the org chart so that when it's
just a continuum. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Just comment there, or I'll just highlight this. Okay. And then so committee work, and that makes sense then when they see these.
They continue, yeah. Marcia, we're still on the just creating the oh God. OPD, OIG, CIPRA for the bigger titles, because there a lot of time we reference to the acronym as opposed to the full-on name.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay. Should I pause?
Okay, you can scroll on down. The committee name changes are clear.
This is strange. No one did. Okay. There was a weird
Roman numeral there.
Oh, okay.
I deleted that.
Go back. I'm just checking the paused and dormant list.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing.
Should anti-discrimination have a dash in the middle? Just wondering.
I'm happy to put it in. It doesn't look like spell check caught it, which is interesting, but sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Nothing in the text of police commission meetings changed.
You know what, go back, sorry. Go back to the paused.
Oh, these are the paused ones down here.
Those are-
No, just the, yeah, I was just trying to double check. Risk, okay. Okay, that's fine. I think it was missing persons that actually passed in 23. No
But
problem.
before
Thank you.
you
Mhm.
leave though, which ones of these are completed, paused, or dormant? Of the dormant, did any of the names change and the commissioners who staff them change?
We put,
So, go ahead.
oh, sorry, yeah, we put some committee name changes here referencing these. But sorry, you were going to say something.
Yeah, but that is where the transition occurred. So staff searches, Marcia and I were on, and
Right,
then we weren't. So I think that
Right.
impacts Jackson and Peterson removed. Whatever. I think that should be on there. And then for the staff evaluations, I think that was you, Marcia. I can't remember who else that
I
impacted.
was, yeah, the staff evaluation was, I was definitely on that one, and I'm no
And you
longer.
were on the executive director search, or no, you were on the chief of staff search.
I was on the IG search.
Oh, okay. So then it doesn't impact the first one, which just impacts me. It impacts the second one, which impacts Marcia. So maybe you could put in paren, Commissioner Jackson removed. And
2 asterisks and say Peterson removed.
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Make sure this, I'm gonna just play with the spacing. And maybe just a bit of tone. There we go. Okay. And then the text of this did not change. This did not change. The only thing I did was kind of what's the word? I'm gonna zoom out here. Oh, too much. I kind of cleaned up the list so that the formatting was uniform, whether instead of saying policy, this, and, et cetera, it just starts with the actual policy name and then in parentheses, the subject of it. And I got clarification on which were new and which were revised from Officer Cervantes to make sure we reflected that correctly. And yeah. I also added a link here at the bottom to a resource for OPD policies so people can kind of dig further.
I think that we have militarized equipment ad hoc, but we don't actually have any of the policies called militarized. Should we put an asterisk at the bottom and or highlight, it's chemical agents, specialty impact munitions, there are a few of them, but they don't correlate when we look at reference.
Sure. Maybe put there, and then I can see here. Unmanned aerial systems, I believe, ground robots. Devices. I believe these are all of them. Community policing, social media.
Yeah. Crowd control and crowd management. Maybe. Okay. So then when we get to the green, I think that we should remove the word considered, because what we say is with more policies considered and approved than in its entire history, it's kind of a double,
Sure.
wording. Marcia, any thoughts on that?
Well, again, this is narrative. We're putting a little spin on it. I get it. Had a landmark year in 2020. Why can't we just say reviewing how many of these policies?
Mhm.
So I put learn more about any of the 19 policies above that. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Oakland
So-
Police Commission had a landmark year in 2022 in reviewing 19 policies.
Yeah,
mean-
I think that's fine. Because
Yeah,
comparing the entire history, I mean, there are different priorities for each year. So it's almost like we're trying to establish a contest or something.
The Oakland Police Commission had a landmark year in reviewing
19
19
and approving
or
19
approving 19 policies.
policies.
Because landmark, I think, underscores it well enough.
19 policies.
Mm-hmm.
The commission especially recognized, not recognizes.
Oh,
Recognize
right, because everything needs to be past tense. Good catch.
the Military Equipment Ad Hoc Committee for their tremendous work.
Or not in. Would you say the Oakland Police Commission had a landmark year in approving 19, or just a landmark year approving?
By approving. The Oakland Police Commission especially recognized. Did the commission especially recognize the Militarized Equipment Ad Hoc Committee?
I wouldn't say especially. I would say that we did, that we recognized. I mean, we didn't do a celebration or anything. I think it was at the end of the approval that someone said this was, a ridiculously heavy lift and they did an amazing job. So something like that. So I think we recognized the ad hoc in their efforts.
And is it the ad hoc committee for its tremendous work or their tremendous work?
It's the ad hoc committee, so it's.
Yeah.
Highlighting like that. To be on the 1 line. See if that's gonna be, no, I'll work on the format later, but anywho, okay. I think those are the only changes. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Oh, where it was a request to list all past chairs somewhere.
Yeah. Let's deal with training real quick.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna show that that was,
So this will address it. Yeah,
and
I
then.
think so. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
You said you wanted to go back to,
Training.
Yeah, so,
I can also remove the from here. I'm noticing that others don't have the from.
yeah, that makes good sense.
And I think it was not just her. I think there was some other people from her staff. Oakland Police Department training, Office of City Attorney trainings.
Now, the joint meeting between the commission, the Office of Public Safety, the Department of Violence Prevention, that annual meeting, I don't see that. And I know this is not where it's supposed to go, but it just occurred to me, somebody mentioned it, and I don't think I remembered seeing it.
That's true. It was mentioned, and I was
That's
the one that made the presentation.
Right.
Okay, so it's like SSOC or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I can think of, let's see, we could put it in the acknowledgements where we thank those bodies for meeting and Commissioner Peterson for,
I
you
would-
know, presenting us,
I
or
wouldn't put it in there.
presentations and speakers.
Presentations, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
have a folder on it and I can get you the reference to what it was if necessary, or you can find it.
I think I helped create the
Great.
talk, so
Okay.
I should still have that. But would you say presentations and speakers then would probably be the most appropriate space for
Yeah.
that?
I think
Okay.
so. Hold on a sec.
Hmm. SSOC. Highlight that.
yeah, otherwise I don't know where it fits neatly, but I think that works fine.
Okay.
Yes, it was the special joint meeting, November 29th, 2022.
Okay, so
Mhm.
special in front of joint. And does it read off the way Kelly has it listed? SSOC, CPAB, OPC.
I can
It's
spell
city
those.
council, it says city council / CPAB / SSOC / OPC.
Okay, and I'll spell those out in the.
Yeah.
The police. Oop, advisory.
Thank you for
Or-
your reference, Marcia. I wouldn't be able to find that paperwork to save my life.
Well, I'm old school. I keep folders on just about everything. Every trip I've ever taken, I have a whole file cabinet full of.
See, I've been trying to purge. I'm not doing a great job, but I've been doing
Well-
a really good job for 2022 when I
I
longer had a
understand what you're
responsibility.
But that's what makes my taxes so easy. As soon as I get something, do something, I copy it, put it in the folder. And I
Yep.
just give the folder to my accountant and say, here.
Oh, no, you're that person. The brown paper bag.
Yeah, here it is. Make sense of it.
Woo.
Yes, that's what that was. And that was
Okay.
November
Yeah,
29th.
that's great.
I will, I've just noted in red, I'm gonna get the full name for SSOC, but yeah, I think that about covers all of the different additions and changes, and I'm happy to put that in a PowerPoint together. Is there anything else? Oh.
Mm-mm.
I will stop sharing here. And at the time of the report out, would you like to go through with the clicker, Chair Emeritus Jackson, or would you like me to do it, or, you know, just so I'm prepared? Either way.
Marsha, what do you think?
Let Kelly do it. I didn't like that whole let's all stand around the podium and speak kind of thing. I think it's another document of another ad hoc, and we are just reporting now.
Okay, very good. Kelly, you good with that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, great.
All righty, well then I will send the final version with the PowerPoint just so you have it for your reference before Thursday, of course, and then I'll be prepared to present on those changes.
Very good. Thank you.
Perfect.
Kelly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, have a good day.